right? We're just getting to the good part now, right? Tribeca's come and gone. And I'm on the street seeking to resolve my issue with Quentin, who is Alistair Hoffman. I'll pick up where I left off. I mentioned in my letter I sent with the poems my disdain over the continued backhanded subtlety, over my perpetual confusion and uncertainty. And this morning I awoke with the density of it all enslaving me to the ground. Below, walking out of the air and into my grave. I asked him then if this is all some sick joke, pleaded then with him, as now to God, just for peace of mind. Are we not as close as anyone can be? Have I not shown my remorse, my shame over my behavior? Why must it continue? All of these thoughts and more, suicidal despair, hover perpetually over me. Is Alistair the architect of our separation? In the park this morning I paced fervent with tear ducts working perfect. Exhausted by these weeks on the street, my skeleton degrading each night I sleep on concrete. All is not well, though I do not know why. I told him my intention, that I'm going to write David Selinsky, Red Niche, and Dax Vushti. Alistair is, as always, very encouraging. Willow is much quieter of late, though she tells me she loves me. I am lost. In my agony, David came. It happened before, in New Orleans. He too is a writer, asking me what's wrong. I told him about Willow, our relationship, but at the same time it was overwhelming. I told him I would write, and asked him to leave. He told me he would help. I wrote all day. First Dr. Selinsky, to whom I explained the most, this being my third letter. Then Red Niche, then Dax Vushti. All over the west side. Some at the West Hollywood Park, some at the 3rd Street Promenade. By the time I finished, I was spent. Psychic exhaustion. Emotional destitution. I just proofread the letters and posted them. Counting out all the change I had afforded me some 65 cents. And so I swallowed my pride and asked the asshole ahead of me if he could help me post my letters. He looked wide-eyed with disdain at first, but when I assured him I didn't care about money, only posting my letters, he went out to his car and gave me $3 in quarters before escaping my lethal charm. As I left the post office, Alistair told me he'd reach out soon. While napping in the library this afternoon, I knew my letters arrived. 95 cents per envelope I paid. My experience invalidates priority shipping. David tells me he will overnight it from Paris. Niche yielded the most intrigue. He reached out to Saul Thomas Bands, being the cinematic adapter of his works, asking if it was true. Saul has known about me for a time. I've heard him before expressing his uncertainty. He called Alistair, who replied congenially, "He's a wreck, but he loves her and she loves him, and he loves me and I love him. He's my son-in-law." Saul congratulated him. I have deteriorated throughout the week. My confusion was spiraling further each night in these conditions, in relation to the other half of the equation. But tonight, Friday night, saw wisdom come to me. Willow was never sincere. She resents me. All of her tactics were rooted in fear of my curse. And rather than listen at all to me, as I've always listened to her, she felt it appropriate and necessary to continue in this vein of manipulation, psychic control. But now she is seeing that I have no cunning, no guile, no conspiracy. You violate me, I curse you. You ask me to love you, I love you. She doesn't like me placing hope upon her. It feels like she enjoys being a whore. Her family tell her I'm cool, and I tell her this is about her, but also about the role, that she can do whatever she wants. Just fucking be cool. Whatever. We're together, we're not together. Just relax. Yes, I am sincere when I tell her I love her. I am sincere always. It is the only appropriate path. I want everyone to be happy. I am interested in charity, giving, loving. But if she doesn't want to love me, I don't see why we can't be friends and I can't go to work. She wants to have her cake and eat it too. She can't spend any time with me because she is in love with me. and despises me for it. And we've been having this conversation in its myriad forms since New York. She doesn't want to not feel welcome on her father's last film set. But if she hates me, if she doesn't feel welcome because she doesn't want to be around me, I've never blamed Alistair for loving his daughter. Monday diminishes. The weekend was pure chaos. My depression has never been worse. Love seems some obtuse fable, a myth of epochs long past. By 10 p.m. Saturday night, I heard her moaning like a whore. I flew into a rage, screaming, "Fucking bitch! Disgusting fucking whore!" Annabella was kind, offering condolences, which were appreciated, but did not help. These are the games that interest her. Abhorrent psychosexual bullshit. Yesterday, she showed him my writing, her vision board, which is even worse, I guess. She's always been a whore. But my words are special. Her body is hers to defile as she sees fit, but my words are for her, not the fucking world. She's just like everyone else. Just like those fucking actors in New York. She's proven herself a statistic, seeing me as the masses all do. I am not a monkey in a cage, you miserable witch. He called me a tortured artist, and his empathy was palpable. Last night, more of the same. "Ethan, you know what I'm doing?" He threw her out, saying it's obvious she's interested in torturing me. He offered to come get me. I told him it was too weird. He was discussing it with someone, a roommate or friend who seemed to understand. "I kind of get it," he says. "For the role, it's pretty legendary." Of course he's not wrong. This morning I found a bag of white powder in the park around 6 a.m. I took a shower, walked back to the park, and chalked out one good line. I snorted into both nostrils. It could have been anything. It was very strong fentanyl. I did way too much. Within 1 minute I was dangerously intoxicated. I couldn't focus and began walking. I feared stopping. I threw the drugs in the trash in front of the library and made it down the stairs. Any number of people in similar straits would have lost their composure and injured themselves severely in falling down those steps. They were with me. They chided her, and she did say she didn't want me to die, though I do not believe that. As I walked by the entrance to the emergency room, Alistair pleaded with me to go in, but I decided to ride the wave and walk until I could no longer. They lauded my strength, and I began to come down after 10 a.m. I assume I was on the brink of an overdose. Has killed many. While napping in the library hungover, she came to me. But she gave me a vision of her cursed womb, saying I'm pregnant. Her father expressed his frustration and disappointment in a single word. No. I told her I don't trust anything she says, but it is appropriately godless, loveless, devoid of any trace of dignity or self-respect. Therefore, being rooted in conniving evil, perhaps it is the only true thing she's ever said. I am lost. The disrespect of me, my power, our connection, relationship, inflames conspiracies devious, mischiefs manifold, and sorceries terrible to enter human hearing. Levi says in the History of Magic that the necromancers of the Dark Ages were ever in league with midwives who would run spikes through the newborn's ears and claim stillborn. Thereafter the sorcerer would unearth the lamb and distill the corpse into the elixir of life everlasting. I know this tactic, Willow's tactics, to be the pinnacle of amoral evil. In this devastation, this all-consuming despair, I drown in the cruelest conspiracies her feeble mind is incapable of conceiving. I see it. These reptilian ends, brought to maturity upon her head. As easy as anything. She is not clever, or smart, or wise. Her power is stolen, not earned. She knows nothing of devotion, quantum entanglement. Blind, directionless ambition is vacuous, fleeting, dangerous, as a hurricane or tornado. It destroys with complete abandon during its violent expression of self, and disappears into the nothing they emerged from, leaving only a measurable trail of pillage and destruction. It has no true self. It is comprised of all the elements it steals along the way, flashing a patchy mosaic misunderstood as identity. The only true magic surrounding any storm is the naming. A name has no power, however the act of naming. As when I named Willow Lilith. I cursed her. I have come too far, sacrificed my health and well-being. She can cast her spells, and I can cast mine. I have to write about it. It is the next logical step. Endless grief. I'll stop there.